draw. I can draw. I can paint in watercolor. Hey guys, this is Caleb King of thecalebking.com. You're here at C2E2, and I just want you to say, hey, subscribe to Raze Chaos.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and we have got some fun today. And today, what are we gonna do today? What are we gonna? We're gonna do another random video. Last time was random biddies. Last week was random biddies, but today is just random. So Raze is gonna bring in a little bit more of some things he got for Christmas, some things he got on his own, and he's gonna pull back on some of the how should we put it, the stuff that he already had but he never made a video on. So sit back, we're going on a little ride. Not sure how long this video is going to be because you know how Raze gets wordy, and the first one up is kind of a big one. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get right into this. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this guy away so Raze can unleash.
This man is in no condition to fuck a sheep.
So, as promised, Raze is going to unleash. But Raze is going to unleash because Raze has got a fun one. It's fun for him anyway. Raze picked up this figure quite a while ago. Like I said, this is one of his older things. And what this is from the Legends series. Ooh, look at the dust on that thing. The Hasbro Legends series of Marvel. And this one is from the Guardians of the Galaxy line. And it is Marvel's Angela. It's funny because Raze doesn't usually collect these kind of things, but this line actually had two figures that Raze debated getting. And one, obviously he's regretting that he didn't pick it up because, yeah, I can't just pick it up anymore. Maybe he can. We'll have to look at that. But, yeah, they had a Dark Star figure, and Raze really wishes he had gotten that one. Raze was like on board from the very beginning with Dark Star because that was when Raze was collecting, he had was it Dark Star? Dark Hawk. That's what it was. Whatever the heck his name is. Raze was right there at the very beginning. First issue came out, Raze picked it up, and Raze was like, this was when Raze was hardcore DC, didn't give rats about anything on the Marvel side, and he felt like in order to get over to Marvel, he needed to pick a Marvel character that he was going to attach himself to. And that was the character that Raze decided he was going to attach himself to. And first issue, first appearance, all that fun stuff. Raze got into it and everything, and then slowly kind of lost touch with it. Because as Raze did start expanding in the Marvel Universe, in reading stuff, he found other things that he kind of enjoyed more and kind of latched on more, and it further helped him explode. Researching the Fantastic Four was the best thing Raze ever had. Is really, if you're going to get into the Marvel Universe, you really have to pay attention to the Fantastic Four, especially if you're going backwards through history, because that's where so many of the characters actually come from, is the Fantastic Four. So many of the major characters first appeared in the Fantastic Four, more so than the Avengers or anything else. But yeah, he drifted. Wishes he'd gotten that figure, but he didn't. But the figure he did get was Marvel's Angela. And I think it's kind of funny because if you look at all these figures back here, like they've got Star-Lord, they've got Nova, they've got yeah, they don't really have they have Star-Lord, Marvel's Nova. Well, I guess they do have Marvel's Nova on there. That's okay, but it's got Drax and Yondu. It's got these Masters of the Mind, which is where Darkhawk, and it also has Vance Astro on here. It's kind of interesting that they, not really sure how they listed the names of the characters here, but yeah, the fact that it was named Marvel's Angela, Raze didn't realize that it also said Marvel's Nova on here on as far as a different character. Raze thought it was funny just simply because Angela did not originate in Marvel Comics. Not quite sure 100% what her complete origin is as far as her Marvel origin, but Raze made a big deal about getting this figure and getting the first appearance of her in Marvel Comics because she originated in Spawn. She was a Spawn hunter. She was an angel, hence the name Angela. Even made an appearance in the live action Spawn movie that they made way back in the 90s, late 90s. But yeah, she even made an appearance in that. So how many Marvel characters have made appearances in image-based movies? I think it's kind of funny because there was no crossover there. She was part of there. If a sequel had happened, she would have been like the main antagonist. So how did that happen? Well, that happened because when Image first came out and they were basically doing everything they could to draw attention away. The fact that these artists and creators had come from Marvel Comics. These were the guys that everybody was buying their books. You know, it was just like McFarlane, it was Liefeld, it was Jim Lee, it was, you know, a lot of these guys had made big splashes in Marvel. And basically when they wanted more money because they were taking a bunch of Marvel titles, and Raze has talked about this before, that were lukewarm selling at best, and then suddenly, bam, these are record-breaking issues. You know, the best-selling comic book of all time, the X-Men #1 that had all the different covers and everything, that was Jim Lee. That was all Jim Lee. It was a big fold-out cover. They did it in individual covers, and then they had one that was a fold-out cover that you could get. But it was Jim Lee's artwork. And yeah, if Jim Lee had asked for any more money at that point, Marvel would have said, hey, the X-Men sell. And Jim Lee like, hey, but I did this big thing and kind of made you guys a lot of money. Best-selling comic book of all time. Yeah, well, they didn't buy it for you. They bought it for the X-Men. And yeah, when Todd McFarlane had taken over Spider-Man, was dragging people, you know, to that book like crazy. When Spider-Man like was suddenly, it was hitting the roof. It was outselling everything. It was, it was, doubling and tripling its previous sales records. And when he said, hey, I'm doing this, can I have some more money? Marvel said, look, we know that you think that you're impressive, but people aren't buying this book for you. They're buying it because they're Spider-Man fans. You're not the star of this book. And, and so on. I mean, this wasn't, basically anytime an artist could come on and boost the sales of a book and say, hey, shouldn't I get a piece of this? They'd be told, no, it's not you, it's the character. And, yeah. That didn't bode well with them. They decided to go ahead and, rebel. Created Image Comics, which at the time, Image Comics just immediately sold like crazy. Like, boom! Like you would have issues and variant issues. I mean, they put out so many variant issues of their first editions. If you had a first issue of an Image comic, you were basically guaranteed to be able to turn around and sell it for 3 times what you paid for, and it just kept going up. But like with anything, people stopped and started reading the books and realized, oh, this is all style and no substance. So, aside from Spawn, a lot of it dropped off. They couldn't, they were suddenly on their own and they couldn't, hit the marks necessarily. I think Todd McFarlane did best with Spawn, because that was one of the groundbreaking books that, he was pulling people with him, and a lot of fans of the other founders of Image came along as it went, but for the great big boom, McFarlane had it. He might as well have been the president because everybody was following him, and he had gathered everybody else, so he was really kind of the figurehead. But then what happened? He slowly started turning into Marvel. He brought in hot new creators like Neil Gaiman to come and, hey, we know you're selling like crazy. We're going to pay you a bunch of money. You have free reign with my Spawn book. Do whatever you want with it. Create whatever you want. And so Gaiman did just that. He created Angela. He figured the big character in the story is the Hellspawn, and what would be its natural arch enemy would be an angel from heaven, which is a hunter that goes after these things. And she came. She was Spawn's adversary. But when I say he turned into Marvel, that's exactly what he did. Because, after the initial rage went off and stuff started calming down, Neil Gaiman went back to Image and talked to Mr. Farlane and said, okay, where are my creator royalties and stuff for Angela? Because that gave your book a lot of attention, and I haven't seen my piece of it yet. And what did Todd McFarlane say? They didn't come here for you. They came here for Spawn. Oh, how that turned. So, yeah, judging by their initial agreement, Neil Gaiman retained ownership of Angela, so he basically was owed a piece of every appearance, and even expanded upon that, because once that was found out, Angela kind of faded into the background, and then you had other female angel hunters coming after, such as Tiffany, which were thinly veiled versions of Angela. This was Todd McFarlane basically repeating the errors that Marvel made, and that was a mistake. And so years and years of legal issues, because Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman went in circles around the rights of not just Angela, but a couple other properties that they kind of shared ownership of, or thought they did. For that, you kind of have to, that's a whole other can of worms if we get into some of the other stuff.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at.
The first thing he did was he sold it to Marvel, because if you're gonna win a court case like that, what is the worst thing you could do to piss off the loser but sell the creation to the company that he originally rebelled against? And she's not an angel in Marvel Comics. I believe she's supposed to be like Thor's sister or something like that, long lost sister. So, but Raze had to get this figure because of all that. Of course, the luster of Neil Gaiman has sorely faded in the past, so it's kind of questionable whether Raze would have gotten this one had that happened sooner. But yes, the character has gone on. They had some big event in which she came into the Marvel Universe, ended up with the Guardians of the Galaxy because, I mean, let's face it, the movies were out, they were hot. Where's the best place to put this exciting new character? So yeah, that was all it took for Raze to be like, I have to get this figure of all of them. So yeah, Raze picked this one up, and very happy to have done so. But yeah, so that's enough for the past. Now we move on to, well, I guess we're still gonna go into the past because the next thing Raze is gonna show you is the additions that he had gotten for Christmas. Because yeah, a couple guys are sitting over there and they're by themselves, and for Christmas, Raze got another 2 of them. And yes, they're 5 in total. They've got Rudy, Shorty, Slim, Spiky, and Fatso. And Raze already had Shorty and Slim, but yeah, good old mama decided she was going to go looking for some of these and got them for Christmas. And yeah, Raze gets to add Fatso and Spiky to the little line. So the only one Raze is missing is Rudy, which is ironic because Raze did give a stuffed Rudy to a relative who absolutely loves stuffies. And of course, Raze had to give a killer clown because that's what he does. So yes, Raze gets to add a couple more killer clowns to his evil army of killer clowns. We're gonna take these guys out and just have a quick look at them because yeah, this was exciting. Raze has not seen these. I mean, I know they're basically they where Raze found his and where Raze's mother found these were at Five Below, but oddly enough, they don't seem to be like as forthcoming as as one would hope. But yeah, we've got Fatso right here, and Fatso here to join the clowns, and we're just gonna good look at him because yeah, these are die-cast figures. And Raze can't get over how much fun these are. Definitely on the lookout for that last one, the Rudy. But yeah, you know Raze loves his clowns. We're gonna get this other guy out here and pull him out. You know, you're never. It doesn't matter like what's come out or, you know, who's in the news, whatever it is. You never know when Raze is going to pull a killer clown out because, you know, it just kind of has to happen whenever he sees it. And when Raze sees it, Raze gets it. And, yeah, that's just, you know, Raze isn't going to resist. And Raze was just overjoyed to get these because Raze would have gotten them all when he got those other 2 had he seen them all, but he only saw the 2 that he bought, and then managed to find these 2, thankfully, part of Raze's Christmas, which, is there really a Christmas complete without getting killer clowns? I don't think there is. So yeah, we have got these 2 guys more than likely going to join their brothers in arms up back here later on, but yeah, we've got our clowns. We've got new clowns, and there's nothing like Raze enjoys more than getting new clowns. Yeah, Raze talks ad nauseum about the killer clowns, and yes, this was another piece of the Christmas Raze got this year, and everybody knows Raze's obsession with evil clowns. And thankfully, they indulge it. So, yeah, Raze isn't going to spend as much time on the clowns because you guys are probably a bit sick of it. So, Raze is going to go ahead and he's going to pull out the last piece that he'd gotten. And this might throw you a bit because, yeah, Raze is... Well, that's bullshit. Raze has done some wrestling content in the past, and Raze got a piece that he's absolutely been wanting for some time. And that would be George the Animal Steel. Raze is a big fan of George the Animal Steel. Not really a wrestler that, like, gets a lot of due nowadays, but when Raze was a kid, the animal, George the Animal Steel, he had come out, where Raze first saw him was during the feud that he had with Randy Macho Man Savage, which, I mean, Randy Macho Man Savage can make anybody look good, but George Steele, by this point in his career, had already had a long, impressive career. And when everybody else wasn't doing characters, he had been doing his animal character. You see the figure has the green tongue. You can see the body hair that this man had, which was pretty unkempt unkempt and kind of focused on to make him look more animalistic. But he would act very bizarre in the ring. And even still, he was more like he was basically acting as if he was Miss Elizabeth's pet. He was going after her, wanting to protect her, kind of like King Kong and Fay Ray in King Kong. So they played that angle up, and of course, Randy Macho Man Savage wasn't having anything to do with it. So it was one of those things that, like, during the time, it was such a big deal because, mind you, this is still during the period of time that WWE was still trying to expand their national product, and yeah, this was a big deal because Raze remembers the local news actually had a short interview with Randy Macho Man Savage and Miss Elizabeth, which, oh my God, that kind of pushed the narrative that WWE was trying to push. I mean, yes, it is performance, it's predetermined and everything, but they were really pushing it at the time because why would the sports broadcaster be talking to these guys if it wasn't a real thing? So yeah, they were really big on pushing the narrative, and Macho Man Savage, that's part of how they did it, was actually have you on local news, since I believe it was somewhere in I couldn't tell you if it was Champaign, whether it was Decatur, whether it was Springfield, where the actual thing, because that was a long time ago, where the match was supposed to take place. But yeah, they were coming up on a big main event, and they were drawing people. But we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we're going to have a closer look at it, because Raze did not wait this long to get this person and leave him in the package. Ooh. And sure enough, there's George the Animal Steel. It looks like he's got like a little package of accessories here, and he's got his... let's get him untethered here. Raze, so has to be careful with this stuff, because he does have a habit of potentially breaking figures when he's taking them out of a package. You would think somebody as old as Raze would have learned by now how to take figures out of the package, but he still unwraps toys with that childlike enthusiasm. Raze is just untamed. But yeah, we have got him. We're going to take a look at this guy. The only thing that Raze really, questions about this figure, just right offhand, which was a potential, I don't know that I'm going to get this, was the shirt. Because, well, George the Animal Steel did wear a shirt. It was a black long sleeve shirt when he did wear them. So him having this "I'm an animal lover" t-shirt on makes no sense. Thankfully, it opens up in the back, and you can take it off of him. Because George the Animal Steel didn't wear a shirt. Oh, and they made sure you got to see some of the body hair on this guy. Most of the time he was monosyllabic. He would, if he got a word out, otherwise he would just grunt and growl at people. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pull out the accessories. So just in case that actually leads to a part of what Raze is going to talk about. That way he doesn't end up repeating himself. So what does he come with? He comes with extra hands. He comes with 4 extra hands. And that appears to be it. We're taking a look. Yeah, he just comes with extra hands. So that's cool. So Raze can go ahead and actually what Raze is going to do, because he saw it on there, saw it on the back of the thing, on the back of the card, they had plenty of stuff on the back here. Some of the things they have him is eating turnbuckles for lunch, which that was one of his big things, is he would fight, but at some point he would go to one of the turnbuckles and chew it off and pull the fuzz out and everything and flap it around. But of course that left an exposed turnbuckle to, if you were to, sling somebody into that there's no cushion that they're going to hit. It's going to be the steel pieces. Of course, you've got the animal thing on here and the mind, because yes, he would take what he wanted. One of the things Raze loves about George the Animal Steel is, like, the entire time he was doing this, especially wrestlers at the time, they weren't making a lot of money. Depending on where your level is, you may not be making it even now. And he had a very, very long career. He was wrestling in the 70s, and he basically had the backup of being a high school teacher, which was hysterical, because to imagine having your high school teacher, just being your teacher, and the man's a mountain, and you've got to deal with this. But then on the weekends, if you cut him on TV, there he is ripping up the turnbuckle and screaming at people with a big green tongue. Not 100% sure where the green tongue came from, but who knows. But he had a long career with wrestling, and even in interviews when they had him there, when he dropped the character, when asked, he even referred to, you could ask him about his career at different points. And when they would talk about the animal, he was still the animal no matter what. But he would differentiate by, are you wanting to talk about the wrestling, or do you want to talk about the cartoon character? Which, that's what WWE was doing at the time, or WWF at the time. But thankfully he got that. And one of Raze's favorite little additions to that is in the Tim Burton movie Ed Wood, George the Animal Steel got to play Tor Johnson, who is basically a monster of a man. He was a Swedish wrestler that who basically played the hulking monster, and honestly, it was Ed Wood that got him there. So it was really cool to have him on there, represented so perfectly by George the Animal Steel. So yeah, Raze has got a big, long history of love for George the Animal Steel, one of his favorite wrestlers of all time, be it in the ring or his afterwards. But this is definitely a character that Raze looks out for when they're putting out new wrestling figures. He's not had a lot of success getting these, hence why he jumped on this one, which I think this is a weird little sub-series that they did. But nonetheless, Raze has got his George the Animal Steel, and Raze is very happy about that. So hopefully this video isn't too terribly long. Raze was worried talking about Angela and George Steele. It was going to take a lot. Knew he was kind of going to gloss over the clowns because he knows. You've been watching him. He knows he goes on too far. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments down below which one you enjoyed more, because we've really got a nice little cross-section of what Raze likes to collect. You've got Angelo. You've got the comic book character that he absolutely loves. You've got the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, being the B movies and the horror movies that he loves to collect. And then you've got his wrestling characters, which Raze tends to lean more towards the actual stories more than the actual, I don't know, so like the weekly Raw or something. Raze doesn't watch wrestling like he used to, where he's keeping up with the storylines. He's more interested in the guys that actually do this, and what they go through to do this, and what they do afterwards. So yeah, that's why even when Raze does do wrestling videos, they aren't like everybody else's wrestling videos, because Raze isn't necessarily talking about the characters. He's talking about the people. Unlike the comic books, where he's talking about the characters and not necessarily the figure he's like showing off. But at any rate, let me know down in the comments below which one of these was your favorite. Raze is going to go ahead and let you go now to go ahead and enjoy your weekend, because Raze is still getting ready for a lot of things. Raze managed to avoid jury duty once again. They keep calling him, but they never want to use it. Wouldn't you want Raze on a jury if you were going on trial? That's a good question for the people watching. If you were on trial for anything, would it make you feel good seeing Raze Chaos sitting in that jury box? Could go either way, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, Raze is going to go ahead and let you go now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment books which one of these figures you like the best. And never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.